Hi guys, this is RK once again back with an interesting topic, antagonism and synergistic effects on the nutrient uptake. There are a lot of interaction takes place between the nutrients within the soil and between the plant and the soil, which may show the positive effects on the negative effects on the crop yield. First of all, what is antagonism? Antagonism means the increase in concentration of any one nutrient element in the soil which will decrease the activity of another nutrient element. This is called antagonism, which will show the negative impact on the crop yield, while the synergism means the increase in concentration of any one nutrient element in the soil which will increase the activity of another nutrient elements, which will show the positive effect on the crop yield. This is called synergism. Well, one must understand how the negative and positive interaction takes place within the soil and the plants. For this, I am giving an example of the nitrogen uptake in the plants. Firstly, I want to say that more nitrogen in the soil is present in the form of organic, while the plants absorb nitrogen in the form of inorganic like ammonia and nitrate. Well, for this, I am giving an example of natural fertilizers like Jivamruta and waste decomposer. When we apply these natural fertilizers, which contains a lot of microbes, will release some enzymes which will convert the organic nitrogen into the inorganic nitrogen, and the plant will uptake the nitrogen in the adequate quantities, and there is no over concentration of nutrients takes place. While it comes to the inorganic farming, when we apply directly the urea or ammonia, which are the inorganic nitrogen, the plant have a character that plants absorb more nitrogen when it is available and stores it and uses when it is needed. When we use excess nitrogen to the plants absorb the nitrogen excessively and produce vegetative growth and succulent leaves, which will reduce the grain production and the fruit production. It means here the nitrogen is acting as an antagonistic nutrient. While to control this, we have to give the adequate amount of phosphorus and potassium to decrease the excess effect of nitrogen. Unlike nitrogen, the phosphorus concentrates more on the reproductive parts of the plant and on the seed production. The phosphorus is absorbed by the plants in the form of H2PO4- and H2PO42-. Soon after applying to the soil, the consumption of phosphorus is very less because it is subjected to immobilization and fixation, which renders the uptake of phosphorus. The residual amount of phosphorus is used for the next crop. So when we applying the phosphorus fertilizer for the next crop, it should be based on the recommended levels and at suitable times. If not, the excessive phosphorus will show adverse effect on the uptake of the another nutrients elements like zinc, ferrous and copper, which is antagonistic effect. Friends, before explaining the Mulder's chart, I want to say that all minerals are available at ideal pH of 5.5 to 8.5. Friends, we can clearly see that iron, manganese, boron, copper and zinc and molybdenum and the rest of the nutrients are available at ideal pH of 5.5 to 8.5. Here we can grow all kinds of plants. And here is the Mulder's chart. Around the middle of the 20th century, Mr. Mullard was the first to make a link between all sorts of soil minerals and their interactions. He recorded those in the so-called soil mineral wheel. Friends, here we seeing on the screen, the wheel is nothing but the soil mineral wheel, which shows the synergistic and antagonistic interactions of the element. Friends, I want to give some examples of antagonism and synergism. Before that, the complete green line here indicates the antagonism and the dotted green line indicates the stimulation. Friends, now I want to explain a few examples of antagonism and synergism. Friends, we already know that antagonism is the increase in concentration of one nutrient element will reduce the effectivity of another nutrient element. Here we can clearly see that phosphate has reduced absorption because of the effects of mineral calcium. Same applies other way around, means friends, we can clearly see that here the phosphate and here the calcium.
If there is increase in phosphate, the uptake of calcium will be reduced. And same as if there is increase in calcium in the soil, the uptake of phosphate is reduced. And the another example of antagonism is the availability of nitrogen is affected negatively by potassium. It means here is the nitrogen and here is the potassium. Friends, the uptake of nitrogen is reduced when there is more potassium in the soil. These are the examples of antagonism. Friends, now I am going to explain a few examples of synergism. If there is more iron, the demand for potassium is also increases. This is one of the example of synergism. And while if there is more magnesium in the soil, the demand for nitrogen increases. These are the two examples of synergism I have explained. You can see the interactions between the magnesium and the phosphate, and the molybdenum and the nitrogen, and magnesium and the nitrogen, the copper and the molybdenum. These are the another examples of the synergism. Friends, if you like the video, please like it, share it and subscribe it, and don't forget to click the bell icon for our further notifications.